thank you.
First time, very first time. How does it feel this far? This show.
How's what?
Does it feel?
How does this show feel this far?
Oh, it feels great. I'm very excited to be here.
Could you tell us the best and the worst moment of your career?
I think this is the best moment of our career because we've never been more in demand than we are right now. We've been on a world tour for the last 3 years, basically. And we've just been on tour since Brain Drain. Now we have a new bass player, CJ, who replaced Dee Dee. And the band now has never been stronger. We've never been closer as a band. And it's never been more fun for me to be in the Ramones than it is now. And we're just, it's a lot, the band's harder and stronger, and there's a whole new vitality in the band, I think, with CJ being in the band, because he brings a really good and healthy enthusiasm, and he's got a great attitude. He's a really strong bass player, a lot stronger than Dee Dee, even though Dee Dee was unique. He kind of brought a unique style of bass playing that really kind of changed, you know, music, or at least as far as bass players go, you know what I mean? But CJ, I mean, he's a big Ramones fan, and I remember when he first joined the band, he would say, "I can't believe I'm up on stage with you guys. I should be slamming in the pit," you know?
Where is he from?
He's from New York, too. He's from Long Island. And he just he looks great on stage. He has a great attitude, and he's just a pleasure, you know? And I don't know if there was ever really the worst time for the Ramones. You know, everybody has their ups and downs, but we've always stuck to our guns and stuck to our original vision. We never strayed, and we always, you know, we were always there for our fans and there for ourselves. We never, you know, sold ourselves out or went the route for what it would take to have a hit by doing something that wasn't us. You know what I mean? We never wanted to play dance music or
Going to
rap or some crap like that. You know what I mean? We always stayed true to what the Ramones are, you know, and that's something that most bands, you know, I mean, the Ramones, we started out, you know, we're all big fans of rock and roll, but most of the band.
Do you remember the first rehearsals you had?
Yeah, I remember the first rehearsal.
What happened?
Well, it was in '74, and that's when we realized that we really had something totally unique, and there was something completely different about us that was not like anything else before us, you know. And you know, like I knew John from the neighborhood, and I knew Tommy from the neighborhood, and I got to be friends with Dee Dee for about a year before the band.
So you are a family.
Yeah, we are. We are a family, and the crew too. We're all, you know, the crew's been with us, you know, for about 10 years. So, and some of them go back to the beginning too. You know, like the sound man, John Markovich, and Monty Melnick. He's our road manager. He's been with us right from the start. So, I mean, in a sense, it's really nice because it is like a family, and it's rare. You know, it's pretty rare. I mean, it's not like the band, the Superior, and the road crew are trash. I mean, we're all together. That's
and you
nice.
don't need like separate gig buses to travel in?
Well, a lot of times we all travel together. You know, when we're going to the airport and stuff like that, we all travel together.
When you started...
we fly together. I mean, it's not like we're in first class and they're in cattle class. We're all, you know, we're all in cattle class together.
When you started, did you ever imagine that you would be playing in Helsinki in August in 1991?
You take it a step at a time, you know? I mean, first, you just want to play, and then you want to get a record deal, and then you want to come to Helsinki.
So you made a very long-term plan in the beginning, did you?
Yeah, well, I mean...
What kind of dreams did you have when you began? When you put this band together?
What kind of...
Dreams, or did you have a big aim or a goal? That you want to be number one in the charts or something like that?
Well, that would be nice.
Or did you just want it to be?
I just, I was always a big, you know, I wanted to be doing this, since I was about, I think I knew about 8 or 9 I wanted to be, doing this. And I started playing in bands since I was 13. I started out as a drummer, and then in '73 I formed my first band as a singer, and then in '74, the Ramones, it was John and Dee Dee, they called me in, and we did it, and so this is really my real first band, maybe, you know what I mean? But the Ramones are unlike anything that came before us or came after us, and we're our own unique entity. And I feel in 1976 we revolutionized rock and roll and changed the world musically and changed people's attitudes, and everybody started playing like us. You know what I mean?
Even in Finland, Nelumäet it is the Ramones of Finland.
Ah, well, that's cool. Yeah, they played with us, I think last year.
Yeah.
In Sweden, we did a bunch of shows, and they played with us, and they were great. It was fun,
Do you think that the British and the American punk scene has been like revivals?
Well, it keeps evolving. I mean, like when we started out, it was the punk revolution, and then thrash came in. Bands like Metallica, who, Lars, he saw us in 1980 in Copenhagen, and that's basically where he got the idea. He combined, the music of the Ramones with, metal influences like Black Sabbath and Deep Purple and people like that, and created a Metallica. Took it to LA where he put the band together, and bands like Megadeth and Jane's Addiction and all the thrash stuff. I mean, it's all derived from the Ramones.
How about Sex Pistols?
The Sex Pistols and the Clash and all that. It's all came later.
Sham 69.
Yeah, well, we had in '76 when we went over to England, and our first album was out 6 months earlier in England than America. All the kids knew about us from, NME and all the English press and stuff. And so they're all excited about, when we came over. We did 3 sold-out nights at the Roundhouse in Dingwalls, which was a club. And
I think it still is.
It's still there.
I've been there. I saw Dogs de Mode.
Yeah, and all these kids came to our soundcheck at Dingwalls and told us that we were responsible for turning them on.
So like the British and the American punk scene never were like...
Well, there was no punk scene in Europe, in England, when we came in '76. It was...
You brought it there, or...
Well, when we came, there was the pub rock was big. Dr. Feelgood was the big group there at the time, and Brimsley Schwartz was the big group there at the time. And there was no such thing as punk rock there until the Ramones came. And then when we left, it was the first generation of the punk scene. It was, and like at our sound check that day, Johnny Rotten was there. He told us, we're responsible, and Joe Strummer and all these people were there, and they all told us that, we kind of turned them on to starting their own bands too, And then when we left, it all sprung up there more like in '77,
Why do you think people still think that this type of music is like very classic and very fresh to hear even today? It has never really went away. People really like it and dig you and Sex Pistols and...
Yeah, well, I mean, the Ramones, we're timeless as far as, you can listen to our first album, or Rocket to Russia, for instance, which came out in '77, and, it's as fresh today as it was then,
Especially now.
Yeah, well, especially now, because everything is pretty dull now. But on the other hand, I think music is healthier, because there's more kinds of music, and it's not so underground. You can check out like Jane's Addiction or the Chili Peppers, or there's a lot of bands that are good. There's a lot more good bands today than there was back in the '70s or the '80s. We started out. The big thing that was happening in America was disco. It was like Donna Summers and Don't Rock the Boat Baby and Disco Duck.
Gloria Gaynor.
Gloria Gaynor, and then there was corporate rock. There was Foreigner and Journey in Boston, and Toto, and the Doobie Brothers, and the Eagles, and Linda Ronstadt. That was what was happening, you know. And
so there was like a demand for a band like yours.
yeah, well, we came along and rocked the boat, and it was like
Turned it upside down.
we turned it upside down, but America wasn't ready for us to rock the boat. They blacklisted us because we were so alien. We always felt rock and roll was supposed to be innovative and exciting and fresh and raw, but I guess because there was a lot of money being made, and we come along with a whole different sound and attitude, and we're real, and they're just, you know, very superficial.
How about
you know,
radio? Did they play a little bit of records, I suppose?
Radio kind of blacklisted us, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, then gradually things changed, and you know, back in those days there was no alternative radio, there was no MTV, there was nothing like that. That came much later.
I have heard somebody say that if you can't sing a song in 3 minutes, you shouldn't sing it at all. Is that true?
Yeah, because like the music that we grew up on, that we love, like, you know, the Beatles or the Who or the Kinks or the Stooges or whoever it be, you know. I mean, you know, great 3-minute songs, you know, the Rolling Stones, whoever it was, you know what I mean, or for that, or Little Richard, or Buddy Holly, or Elvis Presley, whoever it be, you know. I mean, that was great stuff, and the best rock and roll was always simple and exciting, and you know, with raw emotion, raw energy. I mean, that's rock and roll, you know. It's basic and it's exciting, and you know. And what happened, like in the, I guess the late '60s into in the '70s, and then everything became combined with like jazz fusion and blues and this, and then songs became like a half a side of an album for one song, like Pink Floyd or whoever it be. And that was just, it just lost, rock and roll just lost sight of what it was initially, what made it great initially. You know, people lost sight of what made things exciting initially, you know. So basically what we did was we kind of took it apart and reassembled it. We started at the basics, the bone, the backbone, and we just kind of reassembled it and put the fun and spirit and excitement, raw energy and emotion back into it, made it, you know, great again. A lot of people knocked us for that. They said, oh, the Ramones are, you know, mindless or some nonsense, because we weren't playing half-an-hour songs with
Lots of
guitar
solos
solos and drum solos and organ solos and, you know, all kinds of nonsense in them, you know what I mean?
What is the worst thing you have ever read about you, of the band? The worst review, what do you think? Nastiest things said about you?
Well, I think when people say nasty things about us, it's just, they're either
It's a compliment
jealous,
for
it's
you.
jealous, it's ignorance, you know, because a lot of times, especially like the English critics, you know, I mean, a lot in England, it seems like most of the writers there are just frustrated, you know, like they wanted to be a rock, you know, a rock performer.
But they never made
but
it.
they couldn't do it, so they got stuck. They got the only thing they could do that with the least amount of effort was to be a rock writer or a journalist. You know what I mean? And since the press in England is very strong, it's very powerful because England's such a small country. They're just miserable people. You know, they hate the world and they hate themselves, and that's why they write nasty rock reviews about people who don't deserve it.
So you get better reviews in America?
No, we get great reviews in England because they really love us there.
Yeah.
And we get great reviews everywhere because we care. And if, you know, I mean, I don't give a shit if they write nasty reviews. It's just that you could see.
Personal opinions.
I care, but it just usually when you get a review that's, you know, I believe in if it's constructive criticism, you know what I mean? If you're gonna be a journalist, because to me, being a journalist is, you know, I mean, it should be constructive. Well, I mean,
Objective.
Objective and constructive. I mean, I've been asked to review artists. I've done different, you know, I do a lot of different things other than being the Ramones. I've written for magazines, I do radio shows, I do all kinds of stuff. And I would never write a nasty review about a band, because why should I waste my time? I'd rather write something constructive about a band that I really like. And that way I can turn other people on to them, because when I see somebody I like to tell people about them. Not say, oh, well, that's a horrible band, and
That
I'm going to write a
stinks. I
nasty
don't like
review.
them.
Why should I waste my time and my energy writing a nasty review when I'd rather turn people on to a great band, you know what I mean?
What has been the wildest thing ever happened to the Ramones? On stage or on tour or personally maybe?
I guess when people say...
Or does it happen every night?
Yeah, well, I guess, like some of, like when your question too was, what was one of the worst things? Well, this kind of, it's not really the worst thing, but it's kind of a turnaround, like it's a story, I'll tell you a story. There's like, actually there's two stories, right? But there's the first time when we were, in 1980, we, Sire, which is our label now, we, in America, we, it merged with Warner Brothers, right? And we went with this booking agency called Premier Talent, which is one of the largest agents in America. And, but the Warner Brothers people, they felt we should go on tour with Black Sabbath because we'll get more mass exposure that way, which we felt wasn't really a great idea because...
You don't look like Ozzy Osbourne.
Well, that's not really it. It's just that they have a real devoted following the way the Ramones have a very devoted following. But we just didn't think it was really a good idea. But they kept saying, come on, so we said, okay, we'll try it, right? So we did a bunch of shows, and the first show was Black Sabbath, Van Halen, and the Ramones. We played in Atlanta, and we played like 20,000 stadium seaters, and that went great, But then we played in California, this place called San Bernardino, which is a real redneck kind of farm town that attracted like these motorcycle farmers. And so we went on first, right? And all the Sabbath people, for the most part, were right up front. And they were kind of these motorcycle farmer types. And so we were playing, and they started holding up these like fifths of whiskey, these kind of whiskey bottles. Like they were going to throw them, but they didn't quite let them go yet, you know what I mean? So we're playing, and then all of a sudden, bottles start come flying by, and like an ice pick landed by John's foot, and carburetors and spark plugs and all kinds of things, carburetors and all that stuff. And we managed to dodge everything. Nobody got hit or anything. But 20 minutes into the show, we said, I forget this, because it's starting to get a little dangerous there. So we walked off, or gave them all the finger, and then we walked off. And there was a stage manager, this older gentleman. He was about maybe 85, 90, on the side of the stage. And he said, the last time I saw a reaction like that was the first time the Rolling Stones played America, which was real, like one of the higher compliments, you know what I mean? So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, flattering.
Flattering.
How about in the future? Will we see you maybe here in 10 years from now on?
Hopefully.
Same place, same time?
Yeah, I mean...
Do you have plans that far?
No.
No,
But you can't really have plans that far. But the
you're
way
not,
things...
you're not going to change. You want to stick into your own style.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to change, the way things are going now, it's conceivable, but I really don't think we'll be here 10 years from now. I know I'm going to, continue doing, music, and who knows? It's possible, right?
Do you have any other desires, like anything else apart from music in your life? What you do when you don't tour or compose?
I've been doing a radio show and
like you told,
and I've been doing like A&R work where I've been like kind of discovering
picking up
artists
bands,
and bringing them to record companies to get them record deals and kind of advising them and stuff. There's two bands I'm working with right now, a band called Crown the Good. And
what do you look for? What is the quality
I look
you
for a
want to
band that
hear?
excites me because I'm very hard to please, and I like a band that
Credibility and
yeah, originality, unique, innovative, fresh, exciting, good songs, great songs. Or many, bands that really are unique anymore. I mean, most of them are copies of copies. I mean, everybody's the Chili
clones.
Peppers nowadays, or the Ramones, or you know what I mean. So like, aren't many bands that really are exciting and really blow you away. You know what I mean?
What is the biggest thing of these new bands? What do you think? The best band which has come up lately?
My favorite new band is Jane's Addiction. I think they're real inventive, and I like how they've kind of combined everything, but they do it in a way that it's really unique, and I think Perry Farrell is a real genius. And I love the new album, and I guess that song 3 Days really did it for me. It's like an odyssey, and it just keeps evolving and changing, and keeps introducing all kinds of new like sounds and percussion and instrumentation. I mean, it's just fucking great. To me, it's up there with like, maybe A Day in the Life or something. It's like a great composition. And then side one is great too, and like that, like Got Caught Stealing and that video they did. I mean, it's just great, man. There aren't many bands that I guess my favorite bands are the bands I've liked for years now, like Motorhead and AC/DC, and then, the bands, the Stooges, I'm a big
The good old
Iggy fan.
ones.
And,
How about the Doors? This Doors
oh,
boom is going on.
The Doors and the Kinks and the, early Stones and the early Beatles.
Did you like the Doors movie?
Yeah.
Some people hate it, some people love it. It's just like,
I mean,
divides people into two.
Yeah, I guess I liked it, it's not one of my, I'm glad it was made, and I'm glad that Oliver Stone did it, you know what I mean?
Brought this music to the younger generation.
Yeah, it's good that they're turned on to it. It's, it's sort of.
He was never this popular.
I'd rather them just get to see actual, home videos of Jim Morrison and the Doors playing, you know what I mean, rather than. But I'm glad that they're being introduced to it, Hendrix, and of course you have to kind of take a step back to take a step ahead, you know what I mean? To make great music in the future, you kind of got to go back to the late 50s and 60s and 70s, because the music now pretty much is it's not very authentic, you know what I mean?
How about your secret weapon as a singer? How do you keep yourself in shape? This music is very energetic, and what happens on tours? How do you make it every night?
Well, I keep myself healthy, and I'm sober these days. I do a lot of swimming, and I take vitamins, and I don't do drugs. I don't drink alcohol, and I just stay in touch, and I just kind of, I'm true to myself. You know what I mean? I'm not a hermit, and I'm not in my own world and think who the fuck I am. I'm just me, and I like to experience everything. To me, that's what keeps you intact. You know what I mean? And I went through my drug phase. I went through my partying phases, and but I don't find myself a boring person, because I'm not running around, let's party, man, let's get high, you know what I mean? I get high on life. I really enjoy my life, and the people I enjoy hanging out with and checking, and to me that's more exciting than going out and doing cocaine or some bullshit like that, you know what I mean?
How about your videos? This is a video show. How much do you get involved with your videos, or do you let the
Well,
director
matter of fact,
decide?
we just we did 2 festivals before this. We did a big festival in East Germany, and a big festival in Belgium, that Puckle Pop, or whatever it's called, that Pickle Pop Festival, whatever it's called. That we headlined that, and the one in Germany too, and it was really a cool festival. It was Sonic Youth were on, and the Pogues, and it was a lot of fun. And we brought a camera crew, and we shot 2 videos for we have a double live album coming out in October. So we shot videos for Blitzkrieg Bop and Somebody Put Something in My Drink, and
which we're gonna see right now.
great.
Could you tell something about that video? Is
We-
it gonna be totally live, or does it have a story behind it?
Oh yeah, well we shot them, but we haven't
Edited
been
yet,
edited.
yeah.
No, they haven't been edited
So
yet.
it's a
They
big
just-
secret still.
Yeah, but everything we do, we have total, the final
Control.
say and total control, and we have artistic control and all that stuff. We have that written in our contract so that nobody can tell us, well, we know better than you guys, because the record companies, they don't know shit, man. They should stick to what they do know and do
Leave
a
the
good
music
job,
to the musicians.
and do a good job with what they think they do know. You know what I mean? And leave the creative side to the artists and the musicians. You know what I mean? Because they know better. I mean, it's our thing. You know what I mean? And yeah. So, and also we have a home video that's coming out this year it's already out in America. It's called Lifestyles of the Ramones, and basically
Which is going to be a very calm and peaceful video.
Oh no! It's all our videos and videos that have never been released, videos that were censored. It's the uncensored videos.
Parental guidance.
Right. So there's about 10 videos of it, and then there's also interviews with fans of ours, people like Vernon Reid and Chris Isaac and Debbie Harry and Talking Heads and Anthrax and who else is in there? Daniel Ray and Seymour Stein and people in the industry and radio people. And then there's interviews with the Ramones, like with CJ and all of us.
You're interviewing each other, maybe.
No, well, actually, this guy George Seminara, he put this video together, this home video, and he also shot like these 2 new videos and.
It must be my mother.
Oh, I know she's checking up on you.
Maybe it's yours.
Right.
Is there anything you would like to ask the Finnish people, or anything you would like to say to people who watch you tonight?
Well.
Ask them a question, and
Ask
maybe
me a
we'll
question.
get an answer from
Do
somebody.
you know about like volume 2 of all this stuff and more? Mm-hmm. It's out right now. It should be out now.
Yeah, I think it's in the stores.
Yeah, good, because it's really good. And also we have a couple of movies coming out too, like this year and next year. Car 54, it's coming out in April of '92. We're playing in it, and it's sort of there's a cult TV show that was of the '60s, and it should be pretty wild. This guy Bill Fishman did it. He had done Tape Heads, and he shot 4 of our videos. He did Sedated. Somebody put some. Wait, no. Did
I wanna be
Sedated.
sedated. That's a good
Something
one.
to Believe in. He did that, and Pet Sematary and I Want to Live. He did those 4. And then there's I had a small part in a film called Roadkill that won Best Film in the 1989 Toronto Film Festival. And his new film is called Highway 61, and that's going to be debuting in September. So
Lots of things
a
are
lot of
going to
stuff's
happen.
happening. Yeah, a lot of stuff's happening. And yeah.
All right.